What's up YouTube, Zero here. Welcome to the place where gamers, witches, wizards, and superheroes unite. Today, I'm going to be taking on the Veilstone City Pokemon Gym in Pokemon Shining Pearl. Now the gym leader is Maylene, and this is the Barefoot Fighting Genius. So we are going to be taking on a fighting type gym. When you go into this gym, I recommend bringing Pokemon in that can counter fighting type trainers. So I have a bunch of Pokemon that are going to be able to counter fighting type Pokemon. So I'm going to lead with my Crobat because Crobat is flying and poison, and both flying and poison counter fighting types. I have a few amazing moves for Crobat, including my Air Cutter and my Cross Poison. So fighting is weak against poison types, but poison type moves are not super effective against fighting. So I'm just going to continue using my Air Cutter because that is super effective against Machoke. And goodbye Machoke, first Pokemon in the books down. So now what we're going to have to do is I'm going to have to take on their next Pokemon, which is Meditite. And I'm just going to continue utilizing my Crobat, of course. And I'm going to continue using Air Cutter. I also have Astonish on my Crobat if needed, but I don't need Astonish. Not this go around. I could also break out my Gengar, which I'm probably going to break out eventually. I set up my team for this gym so that I do have a lot of counters. I have my Gengar, I have my Bronzor, I have my Squirropi, and I have my Crobat, all which have counters to fighting type Pokemon. So the first trainer is down, and I got this doorway open. But I want to take on this next trainer. I'm just going to take on every enemy in this gym, because why not? So I am challenged by Black Belt Cody. Colby, not Cody, Colby. Of course, it says name wrong, but we're facing another Machoke, which it's gonna be deja vu. Of course, I'm gonna be using Air Cutter again, and I'm gonna take out this Machoke with my Crobat. First hit in the books, and then their Machoke's gonna use Leer, but of course, Leer is only gonna be useful if they can get a hit off on me, which not after utilizing Air Cutter. The Machoke then falls. Now we are going to flip Crobat out. Crobat's been doing well, but let's give Crobat a little bit of a break. And Crobat gets to level 28. Let's give Crobat a little bit of a break. We have Machoke coming out. So what I want to do is I am going to break out. Who do I want to break out right now? I'm going to break out my Bronzor. I haven't used Bronzor in a little while. Psychic is super effective against fighting. So let's break out my Bronzor to give him some battle experience. He is a slow Pokemon. Sometimes people don't like utilizing slow Pokemon because the Machoke uses Dig and you're going to miss and then it hits you. But I'll just continue using Confusion. The Machoke is going to use Dig, hit me, do a lot of damage. I wasn't prepared for a Machoke to have Dig, but of course this Machoke does. And I'm going to have to flip my Bronzor out, of course, because if this Machoke utilizes Dig again, it's not going to be pretty. So let's flip out my Bronzor, and I'm going to go back to my Crobat. And the reason why is if the Machoke does use Dig, it will miss my Crobat because my Crobat's flying and Dig is a ground type move. So let's see what happens. The Machoke decided to use Revenge, but of course is not very effective because I have a flying poison type Pokemon and fighting type is not very effective against flying and poison. So no need to worry there. Now the Machoke used Revenge again. It's going to be a little bit more effective because it's hitting second. But again, it's not effective against my Pokemon. But the game does know that they can't use Dig against a flying Pokemon. So they continued to utilize that Revenge. Now we have another Machoke. This time I'm actually going to go with Gengar, because I want to get some Gengar gameplay in this fighting type gym as well. And I love my Gengar. Anyone who knows, y'all know. Gengar is my favorite Pokemon of all time. And I taught my Gengar Dazzling Gleam, but of course I got this Gengar in a trade, so it's not paying attention to me. It is above the level that it pays attention to me, so when you get a Pokemon in a trade and they are above a certain level, if you don't have enough gym badges, they won't pay attention to you. So I will continue to utilize Dazzling Gleam until my Gengar finally pays attention. It just ignored me twice and now is just loafing around. But eventually this Gengar will hit the Machoke and all will be good. It won't bay. That's 4 times in a row. Eventually it's going to hit. Eventually, the Gengar is just going to fall down. Never mind, I didn't... Of course, it was a critical hit. But the Gengar went down. So, that's what happens when the Gengar doesn't listen to me. And now it's just dead in the water. Guess we're going back to Crobat. So much for getting some gameplay for Gengar and utilizing Gengar. One of my least favorite traits of Gengar is that you have to trade a Haunter in order to get a Gengar. Unfortunately, that's just how the cookie crumbles. So when you get a Gengar in a trade, you have to make sure that your gym badges are up to the point where that Gengar is actually going to obey you. So if you don't, the Gengar is just going to loaf around. And as you saw there, the Machoke had Earthquake, and because the developers of Pokemon got rid of Gengar being able to know Levitate, which was an absolutely amazing ability, now Gengar can be hit by ground-type moves, and it leaves Gengar vulnerable. So I'm just going to continue with my Crobat, considering my Crobat seems to be doing a fantastic job, and we're going to... Can't take on that dude, so let's take on this dude. And see what door this trainer opens up. This is Black Belt Raphael, which is a Ninja Turtle. Raphael putting on a costume, training a bit in this dojo. And now we're just going to utilize Air Cutter. We're going to continue utilizing Air Cutter with our Crobat because Crobat is just running through this gym like it's no man's business. I tried to use Gengar and it didn't work. Thank God for Crobat. I also have Bronzor and Skorupi waiting in the wing. So Raphael is taken down. Goodbye, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So on to... That opened up. I can move some way. Can I open up? See where we gotta move to. I don't know how these are... I gotta move these myself. That's how they're moving. So, I gotta make sure I move these myself so I can get to where I need to go. But I do want to face all of these trainers first, so I can get the experience. May not be able to face the final gym leader until I complete all of these other trainers. I gotta get this last one. I'll go on this right side and open up this last area. And then I can move this. I gotta move that back. So I can go this way. Can I get behind here? I cannot get behind there. But I can go over here. Still stuff there. See if I can move this. I can face this trainer over here. And this is the last trainer that I have to face looking at the gym. Now I have to face another Machoke. This gym is all about Machokes. This shouldn't be called the fighting type gym. It should be called the Machoke type gym. But of course, I have Air Cutter. Almost defeated that Machoke, and I have to wait. This is gonna be not very effective. Crobat is just taking this gym like a champ. So for those of you who don't know, here's a fun fact. Crobat evolves from Golbat, which evolves from Zubat, but you have to have its affection towards you high enough. It has to be happy enough, and when it is, it does evolve. Crobat is a fantastic Pokemon. I've always loved Crobat. Great Pokemon to utilize. If you haven't, I recommend giving it a shot. If you catch Zubat at a relatively low level, Crobat, you will get a Crobat somewhere in the 20s. So it's not too bad to obtain a Crobat. And there we go. We got another level for our Crobat, which is awesome. And we got another Machoke. Another Machoke to take on. I gotta get a sip of coffee right before this Machoke comes out. And you guessed it, Air Cutter. Doing the same amount of damage to every Machoke we face. It's utilizing Vital Throw, which isn't very effective. These fighting type gym personnel just don't learn. Fighting type does not work against Crobat. It is insanely ineffective. If you do have a fighting type Pokemon and you come up against a Crobat, don't use it. Switch Pokemon out. Abort mission. Utilize a different Pokemon for Crobat. And I have this last board that I have to move, and we should be good to go to the leader of the gym. Now I'm going to heal up my Crobat before I get to this gym leader. They're going to make me go around. But before I get there, I am going to utilize a super potion so I can heal up. Where are my potions? There we go. Because I need Crobat at full health. Unfortunately, I'm not going to have my Gengar. Not like it paid attention to me anyway, so it's not that bad of a loss. But it's time to take on Fighting Leader Maylene. And then my Gengar is finally going to listen to me after I do defeat Maylene. So Maylene has 3 Pokemon. I'm going to guess at least one of them is a Machoke. Looks like we have Meditite coming out first. Shouldn't be too big of an issue for our Crobat with our Air Cutter. So we're going to cut the air and just defeat the Meditite right off the bat. Quick! Round 1 down. Now let's get into round 2 against Machoke. Of course they have a Machoke. So let's take on this Machoke, and it's probably going to be 2 hits as it was against some of her trainers in the gym. But it seems like it did almost the exact same. Unfortunately, this Machoke does have Rock Tomb, which is super effective against flying type Pokemon. And my speed fell. Good news is I will still outspeed this Machoke, and down it goes. So we have that, and now on to our final Pokemon Lucario, who is a really cool Pokemon, and I'm actually going to switch it up for this one. Lucario is a Steel-type Pokemon, so I'm going to break out my Monferno and take out the Lucario. The Lucario is a Fighting Steel-type Pokemon, so if you do have a Fire, break out your Fire against the Lucario. It'll make it a lot easier. She said this isn't the end, but it is. She is sorely mistaken. This is the end. We're going to utilize Flame Wheel and finish off this Lucario relatively easy. It's going to take 2 hits, but we should be good. And Monferno dodged the Screech, which is awesome. Yes, you are in a bit of a bind. You could forfeit, but I'll just finish it here. Or I won't, because Maylene will use a Hyper Potion. So it's going to take a couple more turns before I can defeat this Lucario, but I'm going to continue using Flame Wheel. If you've seen my videos before, you know I love Flame Wheel. So let's take out... She's going to use another Hyper Potion because it is just prolonging a battle that is inevitable. I am inevitable. My Monferno is inevitable. And we are finally, she ran out of Hyper Potions. Maylene ran out of Hyper Potions, and that is the battle. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more Pokemon content. I do a bunch of other RPGs, so feel free to check those out as well. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and until next time, peace.